Cuba is, without exaggeration, one of the paradises of the beach season. Known as the Pearl of the Antilles, it provides a taste of what it's like to live in a postcard-worthy locale. This country offers something for everyone to enjoy, whether it's chasing waterfalls, sunsets, and picturesque views, or delving into history, culture, and learning about the past. Every traveler wonders what there is to see in Cuba. Here are the top 25 must-see destinations. Number 25. Saroa. One of the most beautiful places to visit in Cuba, ranked by UNESCO, is located within 100 kilometers of the Cuban capital. Tourists from all over the world visit Cuba to view the thousands of species of orchids that have been experimentally bred there, as well as the country's breathtaking mountains and rivers. In addition to the reserve's beauty, you'll be immersed in a pleasant climate, an abundance of breathtaking waterfalls and lakes. The Cubans themselves refer to this location as the green paradise on Earth. Number 24. Topaz National Park. Outside of Trinidad, Topaz National Park is a picturesque and majestic expanse of wilderness that serves as a massive nature preserve. All the best things to do in Cuba are neatly found at this park. Escaping the bustle of the city, you can hike, walk, stroll, and perhaps even swim in the various bodies of water beneath the numerous waterfalls while exploring this natural wonder. Number 23. Varadero. Visit the town in Cuba with a solid beach, Varadero. A line of hotels is located along the 20-kilometer-long coastline. Approximately 10,000 tourists visit the described city at different times of the year. The population of the area is 27,000. Number 22. Disco Ayala. Unlike any other bar in the country, Disco Ayala is a must-visit for couples, groups of friends, and even the whole family, looking for unique and unusual things to do in Cuba. In this one-of-a-kind Cuban bar, you can dance the night away and enjoy all the entertaining performances for an unforgettable experience. Number 21. Cabaret Tropicana. 10 years after its debut, when Cuba was literally under the control of the United States, it rose to prominence. At that time, gambling was permitted in the cabaret, and each night there were 2 shows that cost up to $75,000 each. In the summer, the daily visitor count reaches 500, while in the winter, the institution is completely full. Today, cabaret performances attract a large number of spectators from all over the world. Number 20. Morro Castle. Inaugurated in 1589, the Morro Castle is an iconic Cuban landmark that has been maintained throughout the years. If you're looking for an inexpensive but worthwhile things to do in Cuba, we recommend stopping by and strolling through this historical landmark to see well-preserved remnants of the past. Number 19. The Bucanayagua Bridge. It is the highest point on the entire island, so it comes as no surprise that it has an observation deck with a breathtaking view of the Yamuri Valley and the rest of the island. It measures 110 meters in height, and its construction began in 1957. It is supported by 40 columns. It took 2 years, and the bridge is over 300 meters long and approximately 2 meters wide. Those who have traveled on it claim that at average speeds it feels like flying. The bridge's beauty attracts tourists from around the world. Number 18. Old Town Square. The Old Town Square is a masterpiece that has stood the test of time in the heart of the city. You'll take a nostalgic step back in time as you stroll around the Old Town Square in Havana for a taste of Cuban history with a modern twist as you visit the shops and restaurants that line the square. Number 17. Bellamar Cave. It would not be an exaggeration to call it one of Cuba's greatest treasures and greatest marvels. The cave was accidentally discovered. In the past, people were very superstitious, so even a sentry in the cave was considered taboo by the majority. it was not thoroughly studied until after the 1950s of the 20th century. Before it could be viewed in its full splendor, numerous tons of water and limestone had to be removed. Stalagmites, stalactites, and incredibly beautiful crystals make up the majority of the underground's ornamentation, which attracts a great deal of attention due to its own attractiveness. Number 16. Vera Diving, Veradero, Cuba. If you're searching for the most entertaining activities in Cuba, consider visiting Vera Diving, Veradero, Cuba. Through Veradero Diving, Veradero, Cuba, you can learn the fundamentals of snorkeling and scuba diving as you navigate the captivating and jaw-dropping beauty of the crystal-clear waters beneath the surface. Number 15. La Real Fuerza Fortress. The oldest defensive structure in Havana, located literally a few steps from the center of the city, is an excellent option. This defense is the most well-preserved of all its port forts. It was once used to defend the city from seaborne attacks, but today it houses the Naval Museum. A 4-meter-long replica of the ship Sanitissima Trinidad is one of the museum's most prominent displays. During the 18th century, this ship was regarded as the largest. The literal translation of the name of the fortress is, quote, "the castle of the king's power," end quote. It's a must-see location. Number 14. Fiesta de la Cubanía is a weekly cultural institution in Cuba that takes place between the sun-kissed streets and the beautiful historic and colonial facades, accompanied by boisterous celebrations. You can stroll through the festive streets and places to see Cuban dancers and Caribbean music played on wobbly honky-tonks, taste fiery island dishes, or even sit down and chat with the southern mountain people who descend to join the festivities. Number 13. Fortress of San Pedro de la Roca. It is a famous historical site, a fortification constructed in the 12th century to defend the bay of the city. The project was conceived in 1637 and took 42 years to complete. Now, a visit to this location is highly sought after because it provides an excellent opportunity to view the ancient architecture and feel the historical spirit that permeates the entire fortress. It is deemed to be in excellent condition, making it one of the best preserved. Number 12. Trinidad. It is a small, exotic republic situated on an archipelago between the Caribbean and the Atlantic Oceans. The open-air museum with colonial Cuban architecture and waterfalls and cascades will captivate you if you are an architecture lover. This city also attracts tourists in search of an extreme vacation because it's home to the best locations for nearly all types of water sports, including water skiing, windsurfing, and paragliding. Number 11. Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes. The Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes is an essential destination. The psychological portraiture and mastery of Federico Beltran Masses, the politically infused paintings and pieces of Guillermo Collazo, and contemporary sculptures by the likes of Rita Longa can be viewed at this art museum, which is an informative place to visit. Number 10. Plaza de Armas. This is the oldest square in the capital. It was laid out in 1519 by the Spaniards and was used for military and ceremonial events. Behind the square, Cubans, renowned for their love of liberty, erected a small square with a monument to Manuel Céspedes, the island's famous independence fighter. Numerous tours in Cuba depart directly from the Plaza de Armas, and it is possible to reach numerous attractions within a few minutes in any direction. Number 9. Cayo La Visa. This is a wonderful place for those who wish to escape the noise and enjoy the tranquility of the Caribbean Sea's azure waters and untouched tropical vegetation. This attracts tourists from all over the world in search of privacy with their families and the Cuban landscape. On the island of Cayo La Visa, unique black corals that are listed in the Red Book grow beneath the water. making it one of the most popular and best diving spots. Divers are encouraged to visit this location. Number 8. Cueva de Saturno. Cueva de Saturno, or Saturn Cave, is a gorgeous cenote cave located near Veradero, Matanzas Province, Cuba. Diving deep into the cenote, a natural pit or a sinkhole formed by the collapse of limestone bedrock that exposes groundwater of the Cueva de Saturno is an enthralling experience unlike any other. A must-see place. Number 7. Prado Boulevard. Its main avenue is noteworthy, serving as a sort of dividing line between old and very old Havana. On its sides are the Wedding Palace, a beautiful hotel, the local capital, and the Grand Theater. Central Park is nearby. It's always noisy and crowded, and on weekends you can purchase paintings by local artists on the boulevard. On the Prado is an additional Cuban landmark, a monument to revolutionary hero Manuel de la Cruz. Number 6. Vinales Valley National Park. Since 1999, this national park has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This park's surroundings will impress you with their pristine beauty and Spanish colonial heritage. When you visit this park, you can observe the lives and agriculture activities of the locals as they cultivate fruits, vegetables, internationally renowned tobacco, and bicycle and horse tourism. Cuba's national park is most notable for its rolling hills with steep slopes. The limestone hills resemble stone islands that rise proudly above the surrounding greenery and homes. Number 5. Valle de los Ingenios. Valle de los Ingenios is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a picturesque destination. Today, both locals and tourists can ride the Baldwin locomotive steam train through the region, climb the leaning slave towers for breathtaking panoramic views, and learn about the dark history of slave ownership at the Manaca Iznaga estate. Number 4. National Museum of Fine Arts. It is the principal center of art and painting in the country, not only nationally but globally. All because its holdings are abundant and extraordinary. Just imagine, the museum has more than 47,000 unique exhibits. Still pondering how to spend a single day in Cuba? Trocadero Street in the heart of Havana is where you'll find the Palace of Fine Arts. Built in the late 20th century, this modern structure stands out among the grand old palaces in the neighborhood, but it also complements the street's architecture perfectly. Number 3. Museum of the Revolution. The Museum of the Revolution is regarded as a must-see Cuba attraction and ranks among the top Cuba destinations. This museum housing structure is an architectural and historical landmark. There is still furniture there, the same original 15th century furniture used before the fall of the Batista regime, as well as personal belongings and photographs of Fidel Castro and other notable revolutionaries. Number 2. Capitol. Looking for something in Cuba's architecture to see? The government palace, constructed on the site of a former swamp that was drained and replaced with a botanical garden, is an excellent option. The result is an imposing structure that represents the Free State. Since parliamentarians have not sat there since 1959, entry is open to all. Number 1. Havana Malecon. Finally gracing the number 1 spot is the stunning Havana Malecon. The 7-kilometer-long Havana Malecon is a lively promenade that offers a plethora of activities for tourists visiting Cuba. This thriving destination is a must-see if you're looking for the best places to visit in Cuba. You can take a stroll, visit the various art galleries, interact with the locals, and so much more. From vintage and authentically preserved buildings to modern twists on natural wonders, the photo opportunities in the various Cuban cities are practically limitless.